Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Right now, get a free select tool when you buy the Craftsman V20 2-pack battery kit. Whether it's the backyard, the bathroom, or beyond, Craftsman has the tools to help you power through and get the project done right. Because DIYing is unpredictable, but your tools shouldn't be. Shop Craftsman at Lowe's today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Hey, it's Austin James. Yes, I'm living with diabetes, but it doesn't have to define me. Thanks to the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor, I get real-time glucose readings throughout the day. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor is small and easy to wear, giving me the freedom to focus on my life as a parent and a musician. Now this is progress. You can get a free sensor at freestylelibre.us.
Offer available for people who qualify. Visit myfreestyle.us to see all terms and conditions. Certain exclusions apply. Data on file. Abbott Diabetes Care. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Welcome to the Throwback Thursday edition of the Backpacking Blisters podcast. We are a family-friendly show that's not afraid to talk about poop. That's right. This episode addresses the number one backpacking fear, or is the number two fear. Everything you want to know and more about going poop in the woods. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey everybody, this is Derek, and with me today is the only man who will brush his teeth with the ash from the fire pit, regardless if it's been peed on or not. Carl Mandrioli, how are we doing?
I'm doing great. Welcome to the Backpacking Blisters podcast, the poop show, everybody. With me today is Derek Somerville. He's a man that believes toilet paper should never exercise because it's always wiped out.
So true. So true.
So
I was gonna say that ad you had, like the most accurate part of your ad was the pine cone dug cat hole. So well done. I fact checked it, and everything is great. Nice job.
It was a small dig at you.
Oh, jeez. If you get the joke there. Wow.
We did a poop episode a little over a year ago, and I thought, you know what? Like, I know the poop episodes, for whatever reason, are very popular, but that's the last one we're going to do for a while. And then after we did one, all these questions started rolling in, questions I would have never thought to answer. So here we are again, Derek.
It's the creativity of the B&B family. That's what they do, you know? And I think that, you know, ironically, everybody, he wrote me and he's like, look, I know we're doing a poop episode. It's your trivia, but don't do any poop trivia. And I said, what? That's not going to happen. There's going to be at least one poop question. Okay? It's for the people and not for you.
All right. So is this the number one best poop show out there?
I get what you're doing. Number one, number two. I get it.
I get it. Okay. All right. It's number two. You kind of write the joke. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Broke that down real quick.
Yeah. All right. So we got questions. I would phrase this as like questions, all your embarrassing questions that you have.
Yes.
I think some people even ask them like anonymously that, you know, we're just going to dive in.
Why not?
We're going to dig in.
Dig in?
Yeah.
Let's you know, get that cat hole and go.
And then after, like throughout the year, I think people caught on to the, you know, some of the poop themed stuff we've had. And I had multiple people send me the Bible verse of the episode, Deuteronomy 23:13, which I think was the same exact one we used last year. But just to honor those folks, it says, and you shall have a trowel with your tools, and when you sit down outside, you shall dig a hole with it and turn back and cover up your excrement.
Whew. Wow. What did they make?
Have you changed your tune on the trowel situation, Derek?
No. I don't know what was going on back then. Did they have what was the trowel made of back then? Was it metal, you think? Or was it like some kind of carved wood situation, like a spatula?
By the time Deuteronomy was around, no, they would have had access to metal. Okay,
so I don't know. Maybe, did you just keep one in your back pocket, walking around? They did a lot of walking back then, obviously, so.
Right, I mean, a lot of them walked around with their, like, silverware. So,
are you putting, like, trowels on your hip belt? You're just walking around with your poop shovel everywhere? What do they do?
It's kind of like a tool belt, right? But for backpacking, so you have
because you can't be. You're walking. You get the donkeys. You get the mules. Everything's packed in the packs. I'm imagining, and then Jezekiah or whoever's like, I gotta go poop. You don't want to go digging around through that big pack on the mule. You might, you gotta have it handy. So
especially if it's an emergency, right?
Yeah, you might want to rope that thing in. What if you're in the flat desert? Like, where do you just go right? Like, what happens?
That's a good question. Yeah, Jezekiah does need to be concerned about those things, and
Jezekiah,
they have. Yeah, maybe some sort of tool belt where you can kind of quickly grab some things.
True.
I don't know. But, they kind of have that for backpacking because people are, the fanny pack is back. And that's a trend that's come back around again. And actually, we talked about that in this month's bonus episode with your backpacking trends that are setting the world back 20 years. So
yeah, I'm realizing I'm feeling more toward the fanny pack. How you feel about people buying these like custom ditty bags? Like why do we need the fanny packs? Like I'm guilty. Right. I had the fanny pack trip. I'm guilty.
But that was episode 1 of your backpacking career right there. So
it was episode 1. Exactly.
Yeah, you weren't taking the fanny pack as an extra accessory. That was your pack. So
that was the whole thing.
That was the whole thing. I don't understand the fanny pack because you have most backpacks have hip belt pockets at this point, and a lot of people are attaching some sort of pocket onto their shoulder strap.
Right.
Like how much stuff are people accessing?
They like the knickknacks. Like right, they want them right here. I want them close. I want them close.
For sure. Yeah. So, and these might be the same people that are using the sit pad. So if you're already taking a lot of breaks, do you really need to access things while you're on the go? Because you're not on the go as much, right?
You're probably sitting down more, right?
Yeah.
But maybe when you sit down, you just want to grab it. You don't want to dig for it. I don't know.
You can't fit the sit pad in the fanny pack or in the shoulder strap or in the hip belt pocket. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I don't either. I'm not a sit pad person, though.
This is not the episode that we're talking about that. Let's get into the questions. Let's dig in here with the serious questions people had, the questions I could have never even thought of myself.
Dive in the poop. Dive in the poop.
All right, I'm just going to ask you. You're the genuine authority on poop. So
the resident poop expert.
You answer first, basically.
Oh, geez. Okay.
All right.
Then I want your ridiculous feedback probably after.
You're the authority. Why would it be ridiculous? So
I don't know.
Number 1, somebody wants to know what the best way to sort of finish up or clean up after yourself. Like what kind of? I would guess this is like a gear question. Like, are you using any special gear to kind of take care of yourself after the fact?
We're talking about wiping. Is that what we're talking about?
Could be.
Okay. Again, we know that I am not. I know I'm being graded here, by the way, everybody. So Carl got the pen out. I see a pen there. I see a Scantron or a sheet of some kind. I don't know what that is.
You're not normally like this. Usually, you just kind of you have an answer, you stick by it. But you're very concerned. You're very concerned right now.
It's more annoyed. Why does everything have to be graded? It's the summertime.
I'm not grading you. Just answer the question.
Look, all right. I don't bring toilet paper, as we know. I don't do it. I'm not going to waste the space. So I find on the trail, from the get-go, I'm looking for soft leaves, something I can put up there to wipe around and get some traction, because you don't want to be, you got to get it out of there. You know what I mean? So I mean, I've used all kinds of things, any kind of frondy type leaf to a bunch of grass. I know you're gonna be like, well, don't you get grass stuck up there?
Again, no, man, your self-esteem is so stinking low right now. I don't know what your problem is. You're defending yourself and you're not getting attacked.
I'm anticipating what you're gonna do. I know I'm dead on, and that's
just
why
be self-confident. We believe you.
Oh boy, here we. I'm just looking for things on the trail right from the get-go that are not crunch. I'm not gonna get crunchy leaves, but something that's soft and you can get up there and it's okay.
Yeah,
there's plenty of stuff out there.
And not the last episode, but one of the first episodes we did on, how to go poop in the woods. Derek revealed that he doesn't bring really any gear for this, and so he's willing to use different things. But one of the things he listed was a pine cone to dig his cat hole. And so I feel like that episode we did was season 1, season 2, and you still years later have no actual proof that you could make this happen.
Why would I film myself digging a poop hole and then
you don't have to film yourself? I'll film you.
Sure you would.
It doesn't have to be a poop hole. It can simulate that. Let me show you. I can dig a hole with a pine cone.
Okay. I will. You want to do it on the trip? Let's do it on the trip. Let's find a pine cone and we'll do it.
Okay.
That's fine.
Do you want to be in charge of the pine cone or searching the appropriate ground?
Probably both. I think that's wise, because I don't want you rigging anything.
I'm not rigging it. I just want you to show.
Let's do it over here near all these rocks. Let's do it over here.
Are you comfortable if I bring a ruler to confirm that it's the appropriate depth?
No, I am not comfortable.
Why not? It has to be 6 inches deep. Follow the rules.
6 inches.
Yeah.
Are you really you're going 6 inches with your trowel?
It's not me.
Every time?
This is the rules for the Forest Service.
Answer the question. Are you doing 6 inches with your trowel?
I try.
That's a no, folks. That's a no in Carl language. So no ruler. I don't want any.
Sometimes I go 8. Sometimes I might go 5. I don't know. I don't usually have the ruler with me, but we'll confirm. I'll bring the ruler. All right,
I'm sure you will.
I'm making a note. I'm bringing a ruler. I'm gonna carry that extra weight. So
I'm sure. Oh wow, that's big.
All right. So you heard it from Derek. Is as you're hiking, don't be concerned about conversation. Don't be concerned about like looking at the beautiful scenery or just enjoying the outdoors. You need to be on the hunt, folks, for soft leaves and grasses.
But that's
what he said.
part of looking at the scenery. Looking at look at that beautiful view. You know what? While I'm looking at this, I see these great leaves over here. Okay. Let's throw a couple in the pocket. You know what I mean? That's all.
In the pocket or in the fanny pack?
Pocket for me. Fanny pack for you.
Shoulder
shoulder pocket.
Similar question. How do you follow up after the backcountry bidet, such as the Kulo Clean?
How do I follow up? Ooh.
Yeah, this is a question we got.
I think that's okay. The Kulo Clean.
Because now you're wet down there.
I think it's all about pressure. You know, did you get enough pressure to get everything out? And that's a hard one to know.
Let's assume that you did. Now you're wet. Your bottom is wet.
Let's assume I did. Okay, that's fair. I think I'm gonna, if I'm wearing underwear, which usually I am. I don't know about you, but I think I'm just gonna rough that out because we're talking like minimal. We're talking like minimal water, and if I'm moving and shaking and grooving, it's gonna dry within like minutes. So I'm not gonna be too concerned about slight wetness.
Okay, so you're gonna walk around bare butt for minutes.
No, I said I'm gonna pull it back up.
Okay.
And walk around and let it all breathe and let it dry out. It's not gonna take forever.
So you're gonna walk back to your group of backpackers with a wet spot on your butt? That's
It's not gonna be noticeable. Hey, if I have my tight compression chonies on or my regular underwear, whatever you want to call them, it's not gonna. And then you pull your pants over the top. Think about this stuff. It's not gonna be like a big old. You're talking like drops, dude.
You're technically clean. But if somebody sees a wet spot on your butt, like that's gonna gross them out.
Okay,
man.
so this is only enforces more the reason to have something in your pocket, some kind of leaf, because you do your Kuho clean, you get it all out. And you're like, I could air dry this for a good 30 seconds. I'm not in any rush, or I could do a quick wipety wipe with a few leaves, get rid of the drops, and pull it back up. I'm good to go.
Right.
I don't know.
They're not in any rush. That is very accurate for your style of backpacking. 100%.
I don't think you should rush that event.
You're 10 yards in on the hike, and you're like, people are a mile ahead of me now. That's fine.
There's a reason I don't have hemorrhoids, and there's a reason Carl does, folks. And that's it. Okay. Right there. That's it.
All right. Next question. Let's do this as like a role play here. So the question was like, what if you're out on the trail and you want to go to the bathroom, but you can't go and you don't have anything with you that's going to help you go? So let's say, yeah.
Right away,
so I'll leave it up to your imagination as far as what that could be. But let's say that you need some help with this, and you're hiking down the trail and you encounter me, and you're trying to get something out of my pack. All right. So here we go. Hiking down the trail. You see me. I say, hey, how's it going?
I'm doing all right, my man. Doing all right. Just trying to find a spot to, get off the trail and relieve myself. How you doing?
Well, that's weird. We literally just met, and you're telling me that you want to go to the bathroom. This is a very awkward conversation.
Look. You understand? You're out here in the wild. When you gotta go, you gotta go. I don't have time for the chit chat. Seem like a nice guy. If you want to hang around after, I'll chat with you. Do you have any? By the way, do you have a trowel I can borrow, or maybe some like excess TP? Because you look like a guy who carries a full roll.
Your social awkwardness is making me not want to help you at all. It actually makes me want to leave immediately because you're telling me you don't want to talk to me, and you're trying to go to the bathroom with my gear. I don't even know you, buddy. Get out of here.
I don't see any threatening weapons or tones coming from my mouth. So you know what? I don't even want your toilet paper or your trowel. So forget you. I'll figure it out. There's rocks and pine cones right over there.
That's not solving the problem. The rocks and pine cones are not the issue. The issue is like your body can't go. Like I have stuff you need, and you have offended me, and I'm hiking on, and you did not solve the problem.
Did you have any laxatives?
Maybe.
You look like the guy who has laxatives.
I had a lot of dried fruit I would have lent you.
Oof, I don't know. Here's a true confession. Random tangent. True confession. We're on a private backpacking blisters podcast. So
correct.
There was one time, this is early in the day, early in the years of backpacking, where I didn't bring toilet paper. I didn't have any leaves. And it was a hot day. Mm-hmm. And I did my deed. And all I could really find, I didn't really plan it out. Rookie mistake. I didn't really plan it, but I found a nice, round, smooth, hot rock. And used that. Like, sun The sun was on it. It was
Sun-baked.
warm.
Okay.
Sun-baked. And I used that to get the situation under control.
Okay.
And it worked actually pretty good.
Okay.
You know, there was enough grip on that thing, and it felt nice and toasty. So
Did you keep it as like a souvenir?
I used it as a tracking device to ward off any predators. So,
Okay. All right.
but I mean, nature provides. I don't know if maybe you're just having insecurity with that, and you'd rather put your poopy toilet paper on the ground. But
I feel like your comprehension of this question is so far down the wrong rabbit hole here that like, okay, the question is like, what if you get like your body wants to go to the bathroom? You've been storing up a lot of food, but it's not going. And so you mentioned the laxative. It's not about digging or finding a smooth sun-baked rock. It's about
if you were listening, you would have said, hey, hang on, true confession, side note, tangent.
Okay.
That's what I said. Did everybody else hear that? I don't know if Carl heard that.
You've just been spending a long time on this question. You still haven't answered the question. So
because it's a
I'll answer the question. I'll answer
maybe it's a good question because it provoked some extra thought.
Maybe.
You're talking about laxatives. Would I get a laxative? Would I put in a little X-Lax in my bag? I wouldn't. I don't know about you. I think we're talking about more eating fiber in your diet. We're talking about eating things that are going to make you poop.
So having those things as part of the, your snacks, your food, that kind of thing would be a wise way to go so that you don't have that problem ahead of time. But if you do want to, solve that problem, like you could ask, you don't have to tell the person as you just did, like, hey, I'm having a bathroom issue. You could just be like, hey, I'm lacking some fiber. Do you happen to have any extra dried fruit or something like that?
I'm lacking some fiber. I could do that. So it's inappropriate to say like where you're going poop. Is that what I'm understanding?
We'll do the next episode. We'll do like how to be socially appropriate on the trail, and we'll do some.
So it's okay to announce to the entire group, men and women, like, hey guys, I'm going poop, and this is where I'm going. I'm Carl. Do not follow me. This is what I've said for the past 3 poopy episodes. So you see what I'm dealing with, people? Like this is what he tells everybody else to do, but then I can't ask a stranger for some.
I'm not talking to strangers. I'm talking to my own group, and it's mainly to you because you're the one that follows people. So,
but you just said I met you on the trail. I met you.
Yeah, in the moment we have had
that?
The introduction. We're not friends yet, and you're telling me about your poop
we're
issues.
not friends now. Okay, well you got to lead with that. We aren't friends apparently because you would know that
Next question. What if you can't stop going?
Well, that's a whole different story right there. Right. I think if you can't go,
You want role play this one. Just answer the question at this point.
I'm not role playing. I'm just trying to figure out what to say about some Daija. We call it Daija out here in California. If you're having some Daija, I mean, maybe you got a little Giardia from the water. Mm-hmm. What can you do? I mean, it's not much you can do. You got to go find a spot and handle your business. If it's going to come out, it's going to come out.
Right, but the issue is that if it continues to come out, then like it actually grinds you to a halt and you can't keep hiking.
Well, it does. I think you got to drink your fluids, stay hydrated. It'll probably dehydrate you a little bit, for sure. Maybe eat some, it sounds weird to say, maybe eat some of Rocky's cheese block and plug it up a little bit. But, I mean, you're going to have to just be like, guys, I'm going to catch up with you. I need a few minutes. This is going to be a rough day for me. I have a little bowel issue. I mean, it's just, what else can you do?
I think you ask for things. I think a lot of people in their first aid kit might have some things like Imodium or Tums or something like that.
Do you carry Imodium in your first aid kit?
I do.
You do not.
I do.
When have you ever used Imodium, AD?
Thankfully, I have used it, but not on a backpacking trip. I've used it on a different kind of trip as a result of some, like going to Nepal, if you want to know, like when we were doing.
Okay, that's fair. No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Since then, I don't know. Yeah, I've had it, and so you could ask around and see if they have it, but just as a preventative measure, we can't suggest medication on the show. I mean, sure, we can suggest it, but I wouldn't feel comfortable. But that's something that I would have in my first aid kit, and I would have it if I could in like a small bag that was labeled, because we start bringing all sorts of different pills and things, and ibuprofen, and you kind of, it's easy to lose track of what's what. So that's one that I would have.
Maybe you need a custom ditty bag for that.
A very small one. Very small one. All right.
That's a good point.
It's storming outside. It's windy. It's snowing, sleeting, hailing. You got to go bad. It's bad weather. How do you go?
That is rough. Okay. Well, I think I first try to find a big old thick tree.
Okay.
Minimize the rain, the downward rain.
Right.
So I'd try to minimize that, and then just grab a branch or something, brace myself, and go.
Okay.
If I can't find that, if I'm out like in some field or something, or near like twigs and branches, I think I try to just cover myself as best I could with my poncho or jacket or something.
Like a rain tarp or some sort of
some kind of waterproof anything.
Like
and then
the rain cover your tent.
Rain cover my tent. If I had time to grab it out of my bag, I don't know if I have that.
Right.
I think maybe that's where if you have the hoodie, you just throw on the hoodie and you got to power through. Your body's going to really be the dictator. If you have some time, I'd say try to get some coverage. Try to get a tarp. Try to get a hoodie. Try to get something waterproof over your head or a tree. If not, throw up that hoodie hood and go to work.
This would have to be something like an emergency, because typically your body's only going to want to go to the bathroom when you're comfortable, and in that situation you're not your body's not relaxed or comfortable. So no, do you know how mountaineers, like they're, inside a tent, it's like -20 outside, they're in a high steep slope mountain. Do you know how they go to the bathroom?
Isn't there like a poop chute or something in there somewhere?
Yeah, some tents have like the poop hole, and so they dig down into the snow and then they bury it that way.
So that chute goes into a hole they pre-dug into the snow.
No, I think that they dig
it right there.
Open the little like trap door in their tent, and they dig down. Oof. And if they're sharing a tent, you get to know your partner really well.
So here's what's funny about that is I've heard, and I'm sure that's a fun experience in its own right, but I have heard like top of Mount Everest, near the top, just poop, a lot of poop.
Yeah, and dead bodies.
And the dead bodies. But this is a family-friendly show, Carl. I don't know if you want to go that route. But yeah, a lot of poop everywhere, which has got to be just gross.
I think Mount Everest has got to be disgusting, to hike there at all, right?
I don't even think I'd want to go for the poop and the dead bodies everywhere.
Right.
What do I know? But like that's
or somebody who's dying and you're like, well, I can't help you because then I might die. So I'm going to step over you so I can get to the peak first and keep moving so I don't die. But so that I can still get to the peak, like I can't do that. Like that to me is, I would.
So you wouldn't be like, hey, sorry you're struggling, but I waited like 7 years to do this, spent like $100,000. I'm going to keep going.
You knew what you were in first, so just go ahead and die. Like I couldn't say that to somebody. That's horrible.
There's people that have done something like that.
No, like a lot of people, like most 100%. Of them. Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd probably have less dead people on the trail, right?
Correct. Yeah.
That's my guess. So, I don't know.
Food for thought there. All right. What about rock climbers? Rock climbers are hanging off the side of the rocks. They have the multi-day, pitches or whatever you want to call them. They have those like little, I don't know what you call them, like cots or hammock things that they're tied to the cracks in the rock.
So crazy.
Are they just leaning their butts over and going to the bathroom?
God, it seems like the right thing to do, but then there'd be poop everywhere on the ground, so it seems pretty gross.
I
imagine they have to like pack it out, right? They gotta like have some kind of satchel-y bag or.
Yep.
Hopefully, it's a custom ditty bag with a label on it.
Yeah.
For that.
Yep. Exactly.
But that's gotta be hard actually to go like that, because I feel like, don't you have to be like laying down to do that on your hammocky tent? Like you're hanging up there. You can't really like stand up and like brace yourself.
Yeah, I don't know that there's like a tutorial on this on YouTube where it shows people how they're leaning their butts over or squatting in a position. But I imagine that they're able to find some sort of position on that like little hammocky cot thing where they can have enough leverage to do that.
I feel like I need some leverage. That's a tricky one to me.
It is.
That's really tricky.
Okay. Next question. Now we're getting grosser. What happens if you accidentally like soil yourself? Like you get it on your underwear or maybe on your shorts even. Ooh. It's just something bad happened. I don't want to describe the scenario, but now you got stuff on your shorts and underwear.
Like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it have to be a lot. Even a little bit in my mind is enough.
Like the Daija just got out of control. I think what I'm doing, so like let's say I like went up the hill, had the situation and it happened, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh geez, I got stuff all over my pants. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I think and the underwear are just done. I think what I'm doing there is it's gonna be embarrassing, but I gotta put the pride aside.
Okay.
Here, I'll just say this. If it's a little, I'm gonna try to cover it or walk a roundabout way around everybody. Sneak into my tent, change it, and put those either like in some Ziploc bag and never open it until I get home or something. That's option A. That's the top priority option.
Yeah.
If it's just like gangbusters and it's just all over, I think I'm gonna have to take off the pants, take off the chonies. I don't know how, I'm gonna find some shrubbery to wipe myself down as best I can, and then I'm gonna take off my shirt. Because I always bring 2 or 3. and I'm going to wear my shirt. Shirt for shorts, we're going to call it.
Shirt for shorts.
Shirt for shorts.
Like are your legs going to go through the arm sleeves?
Yes. See, this is what's so bad about that. If I do that and come back to camp, I know you're going to be like, where's the camera? Where is the camera? We got to get
No, it'd be inappropriate. You have to like tie some things off for that to even be like socially
I just come back
camera appropriate. I'm just imagining you just be hiding behind a tree as you come to camp and be like, hey, Carl, can you grab my backpack, please? Can you just throw it behind the tree that I'm using as coverage? And then, yeah, I would do that.
I think you got to read the situation. Like, I think everybody's going to be pretty embarrassed about that.
No, yeah, we wouldn't make fun of you for that unless you were super comfortable with that situation.
I mean, if it happened, it happened. But right. I'd like to think that I don't know. You'd want to keep it under wraps. But if you can't, if it's just too bad, then you got to just, I mean, hopefully I'd laugh about it, but I don't know.
Okay.
That'd be rough.
So you said you'd open the bag when you got back. Would you?
Okay, I'll say this: if it's just covered, I'm throwing them out. I'm
throwing no matter, even if it's like a little bit. I'm throwing it. I don't want.
If
any
it's
part
just
of
a
that.
little ditty, I'm gonna just hot wash it.
Yeah,
I'll wash it
on that hot rock, the sun-baked rock.
On that hot rock,
Okay.
exactly.
What would you? So okay, you don't bring multiple pairs of shorts. So are you wearing the shirt for shorts the rest of the trip?
No, I got my trunk. I usually always bring swim trunks.
Okay,
so I'm gonna.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's like 90% of the time. Like we went to. Did I bring him a Canyonlands? I did bring him a Canyonlands. Yeah, I always bring a pair of trunks.
So you have shorts and swim trunks with you.
No.
And multiple shirts in your backpack.
No. I have pants.
Mm-hmm.
I got it's true. Pajama pants, luxury item.
Yep.
And then I just have a thin, lightweight swim trunks.
Okay. That's a lot going on there. I got some tips for you to have how to shave some weight there, just FYI.
Pretty simple.
Is there a scenario where you'd wear your pajama pants the rest of the hike?
100%.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. And I'd roll them up to stay cool, but those things are going to be nasty, but I would do it.
Last question I got. So I didn't reveal any of the names of these questions. I didn't keep track really. I don't know if people want their names associated with some of these questions because some of these are embarrassing.
Oh, they should. They totally should.
Joe wants to know, what if you didn't bring a trowel and there was no pine cones around?
Joe, this is nature. Joe. No pine cone. I'm going rock. I'm going stick. I'm going anything sharp that I can just poke the ground with.
Joe wants to know.
That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Whew. Okay. There's a lot of grossness in there. Strangely, Derek had some good ideas and was thinking outside the box with some of the problem solved. I think we're in agreement with most things, like other than I'm throwing, stuff that gets sold away when I get back. I don't have an extra pair of shorts. I would have to wear my rain pants the rest of the trip. And I have had to wear rain pants. I had to wear them because I brought shorts to Olympic National Park and they had this stinging nettle everywhere. And so I threw the rain pants on the last day and it was a hot day. That was not my favorite, I'll be honest. It was rough. So I might even roll up the legs on the rain pants to make them into rolled up shorts. That would look pretty dorky, but
what if you got a little bit of poop? Like a spoonful of poop on these like they're great pants. Yeah. You love these pants. Like these are your favorite pants ever. But they don't sell them anymore. And they're in great condition.
It's the story of my life. I finally found something I love and now they don't sell it anymore. Yeah. Throw them away. They're going out.
You're still throwing away?
Yeah, the poop stuff grosses me out.
It's mental for you then. It's mental for you.
And in fact, I didn't get to this question, but somebody asked, what if your partner soils themselves and you notice it and then you're grossed out by your partner? They're not getting in the tent. They're not going to.
What am I sleeping outside the tent?
Like I'm saying, if they didn't clean themselves up, you notice it. They have a smear on their shorts or something. I don't know.
You think somebody's going to poop on themselves and not notice it?
Oh, yeah.
What?
It's happened. Happened. Trust me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. What's your trivia called?
We got trivia. We call Mailbag Rando Trivia.
Mailbag Rando Trivia coming up right after this. Out on the trail, capability isn't optional. It's essential. That's why I'm using Case knives. Built for whatever comes your way, these knives have been trusted for more than 100 years. On the job, in the wild, and even to the moon. Made with craftsmanship in Bradford, Pennsylvania, every Case knife is a piece of American grit you can count on. Whether you're splitting kindling, cutting paracord, or just cutting up some tape to take care of a blister. Case Knives, every day capable. The trail is calling your name. Are you ready? Are you really ready? Our good friend Rowan from Summit Strength can get you trail ready. Rowan uses rock-solid evidence to design a specialized training program just for you. There are plenty of cookie-cutter programs out there that will get you only halfway up the mountain. Make it to your adventure summit with Summit Strength. The link to your success is always in our episode description, but you can check out all the information you need at summitstrength.com.au/online. It's time to be strong and pain-free for your next adventure. Okay, Derek, before we get into trivia, we haven't established, like, we're coming to the end of, like, the season, sort of, even though we're going to kind of continue on through the summer, but, like, our big trip in July is coming up. So whoever loses the most, like, we got to have some sort of punishment. So what do you want me to do if I'm, like, the big loser for trivia this year?
I want you, it's pretty simple. It's going to be to do something you never do.
Okay.
It's going to be to jump in the water with the guys.
Like in a lake?
You don't like to do it. You don't like to, in the lake, in a stream, wherever we're all deciding to go.
Okay.
You got to go.
Like,
at least one
like
time.
knees all the way in.
No, you got to go submerge it. Some knees in. Get out of here. Submerge. I want to see the top of your bald head totally wet. You're going to need sunscreen, maybe. Okay. I want it in.
All right.
And that's it. That's all I'm saying. Even if you polar plunge and get out, that's all I care about.
Fair enough. Okay.
It's easy.
I'll do it.
Okay,
if I lose.
fair.
But if you lose, I want
will.
you to bring part of your Garbage Pail Kids collection with you and just have to carry that with you for the duration of the trip.
I'll bring one card. Fair.
Okay. No, that doesn't count.
That's part of the collection.
And bonus points if you could actually, like, find a stranger on the trail and, like, trade them for something. Like, hey, I'll give you, like, a messy Tessie for a dried apple slice.
A dried apple slice.
Just tell them I'm having a hard time, I'm a little constipated. I'm
going to go through all my doubles and triples, and I'll bring some on. But okay. I'm not going to lose. Well, how many times have I lost? Twice?
I got to go back through. I think we are. I think you're down one. I think that you're down one.
I'm down one? Really?
Yeah. No. I take that back. I think we are tied. You're right.
Okay. So if you lose this, it might be over for you.
Yeah, we'll have an update next episode.
All right.
So.
Okay, here we go.
All right, here we go.
Trivia.
So mailbag trivia. Mailbag
random trivia. First question. This is our poop question. I said there's going to be one. There's going to be one. Which animal is the only animal that poops rectangular poop? Is it the ferret, the wombat, the dung beetle, or the koala?
Rectangular poop.
Rectangular poop. Ooh.
Yeah. And you knew the answer to this before you looked at this question.
100% I knew this.
Did you? Okay. Actually, 100%. If anybody's going to know poop stuff, it's probably you.
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to say... let's see. I would have known if it was the koala because I lived in Australia for years. So the dung beetle, I don't know. That
dung beetle is incorrect.
I didn't guess yet. I'm processing. I'm like,
just kidding. It's correct. You got it. Just kidding. No, it's not. No, you didn't. Go ahead. Maybe. I don't know.
I haven't guessed yet. So calm down.
It's not official.
Calm down. I'm going to say the ferret.
That's your final answer. Incorrect. Yeah. It is the wombat, cubed poopy. Okay. Only one in the kingdom of the animals, so that's 0 for 1. I'm sorry about that.
Wait, cubed? You said rectangular. That's way different.
Square, rectangular, not round. It's the same thing.
Wait, do you think rectangular and cubes are the same?
No, but they're in the same family of shape. Okay? They're in the same family.
Unbelievable. You can't even get your own question. Okay, go ahead.
Look, you've had weird questions your whole life, so here we go. Number 2... what is the only flag? You're big on license plates, right? You're all about...
Yeah, Virginia's for lovers. Worst license plate out there. Sorry.
You're all about... Exactly. Thank you. Your passion for license plates. So we're just gonna branch it out just a little bit to flags. What's the only U.S. flag, state flag, that is not rectangular? Maybe that's why I said rectangular. Is it Arizona?
Are you blending your questions together?
I'm blending.
Is one of your answers the dung beetle again?
Correct. Okay. Is it Arizona? Is it Ohio? Is it Florida? Or is it Wisconsin? Which one is not a rectangle?
See, I've been to Arizona. I've been to Florida recently, and I don't remember seeing a non-rectangular flag. I've been to Arizona. That doesn't strike any memory chords. I'll go with... I've been trying to think. I don't think I've been to Wisconsin. I've been to Ohio, but like driving through there.
Ooh.
I'll go Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is incorrect. It is Ohio. It has like a triangular cutout on the end of it, so it's kind of got.
And again, this is something that you knew already.
I did not, but you should have, because you're a passionate license plate state person. So.
Okay, and you feel like license plates are the same as flags?
They're all state related, right? License plates and flags.
So you know all the state flowers and birds. I don't know.
This isn't about me. This is about you. Okay, I know you love it about you. So, okay, we failed trivia. Well, you failed trivia, so that's terrible. But we do have an additional question. Let's see if we can get something right today. I was going to give you like something about the Nobel Prize, but I think that's going to be too hard for you. So I'm going to switch it up. We're going to do something really, just a lot easier. We could do this.
And there's a lot of Nobel Prizes, by the way. There's not just one.
I just want to see. Yes, correct. So you know about Nobel Prizes? Do you want the question?
No.
You sure?
Doesn't matter. I lost anyway. Just give me what you want.
Okay. All right. How long is no? That's too easy. How many bones do sharks have? Is it is it 0? 3, 212, or 92? How many bones do sharks have on average? What would you say, Carl?
I'm going to say top 5 worst trivia question ever. Like so far from relating to anything ever on our show. That
it's like, called Mailbag Random Trivia. What do you
want
me to do?
I got it. You started off with poop. You started off strong with poop, and then you went to
How can you complain if it's random mailbag? I don't get it.
Just 212 or whatever. I don't know. What is it?
That is the worst. Look, you already failed trivia.
I don't know how many bones sharks have.
There was no need to guess incorrectly on purpose on this. They have 0 bones, dude. They have cartilage. That is. You're a teacher, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Not for science. And
that's Carl Mandrelli at backpackingblisters.podcast.com for any comments or remarks you want to email to him.
Right. Derek's awesome trivia as usual. All right.
It's always awesome when Carl misses it all.
That, my friend, is all I got.
That is all I got, guys. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you guys. Thank you. Check out Backpacking Blisters podcast on all the social media handles. We will see you next time. Remember, guys, if you hand Carl a poopy pair of pants, you are no longer his friend, and you will be sleeping in the wild. I want to fly around the world. There is another animal who poops triangular, actually. It's and Carl, I didn't want to tell him this, but it's he dug a hole one time and scattered it, and I went to go see what he dug it with, obviously, because that's what we do in our creepy group. But I went and I went to see what he was digging it with, and he had dug it with his triangular trowel. But then after he went, he like made it into a triangle to help it fit in the triangular trowel hole. So he's the one, other than the wombat, who only poops not round. I don't get it.